But I want to come to you, Mr. R.P. Singh, first. One of the biggest criticism of the BJP has been that they'll not be able to answer anything to the people of this country when it comes to the question of leadership. Mr. Sharad Pawar has raised an interesting precedent or an analogy. He says, look at back in 1977, even that time a cluster of political parties came together. And if people have made up their minds to vote against the BJP, it doesn't matter who really is leading. Do you really buy that argument?
Well, majority of them contested from the jail. I mean, they were in jail or probably in process of being released from the jail that time. And it was time of emergency and atrocities by Mrs. Indira Gandhi. All civil rights were curbed and people were thrown behind bar. Lakhs of people were thrown behind bar. And we know how, I mean, I am product of emergency because I stood against the emergency that time. And I jumped into the public life thereafter.
Yeah.
But today, there is a huge difference. We just recently saw the elections in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. And even that's why, for that reason, even Telangana, where we went ahead from 7% to probably 14.5% now, and from 1 seat to 8 seats. So people know what is what. I mean, and the problem is that they don't have a leader today, they don't have any policies, and neither they have intent. People don't see their intentions also, the people with right intentions also. We have a leader as Prime Minister Modi, as a leader. We have a party and an alliance with a leader. We have policies where we have given 55 crore people the health insurance. I mean, the biggest health insurance in the world, where we have given 11 crore people the Kisan Samman Nidhi. So we have policies. I can keep on with those public welfare policies which we have done, and how economic trajectory is on the right path, and how.
So you believe all these things, when taken to the people of this country, they will re-elect the BJP. I mean, that's what you're arguing, Mr. R.P. Singh. Mr. Rajgopalan,
yes,
the fact that the BJP is saying, look, we have had a public welfare model at the helm of affairs. We have ensured that the benefits reach the last person who needs these benefits, a citizen who is deprived of certain basic essential resources. We have made sure that there's a food security program, there's a medical insurance program running in from the government, and that's the reason why people are going to vote for Brand Narendra Modi. The key question for the opposition since the very beginning, ever since this alliance has been formed, is who against Prime Minister Narendra Modi? This has become an election of faces, especially at the level of the central elections or the Lok Sabha elections. Do you think that this argument from Mr. Sharad Pawar will really stick? Is that really a plausible plan for the opposition parties? Mr. Rajgopal.
I don't think so. Mr. Sharad Pawar may be an elder statesman, but his analogy is not at all applicable to the present dispensation. We are in 2023. What Mr. Sharad Pawar said is also right, 1977. Since then, I have been covering Indian Parliament. I know what is what. But, Anushaji, you have to understand one important thing. Why Mr. Yogi Adityanath was repeated. Why in Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Congress was totally decimated. Why? Fourth time. Madhya Pradesh, fourth time they are returning to power, fifth time Gujarat. So these are all certain factors. Mr. Sharad Pawar knows it, but he wants to hide it because of the contradictions in the confusion in the alliance. My understanding of the opposition is there is no
Clyde, I'm coming to you. Yeah.
There is no face of anyone. There is no common minimum program. What is that India alliance stand for? Ram Mandir. Article 370. Therefore, there should be a policy paper. Anushaji, you are left with only 45 days to face the election. By middle of February, the elections may be announced, or early March. So you have got left only with 2 months. Are you going to solve your problems? Contradictions. There are internal contradictions within the Congress, within the JDU, because JDU is the president of the JDU has just now resigned a short while ago. So things are not that.
Mr. Rajgopalan, I frankly agree with most of the points that you have made. And Clyde, you might draw that analogy. Nobody's questioning the experience of Mr. Sharad Pawar. He is the most veteran politician and also touted as one of the first Chanakya of Indian politics. But Mr. Rajgopalan is right when he points out that the argument is misplaced. Those circumstances were very different. Those situations were very different. Today, what you're facing in Indian polity is absolutely different. You can't get away. You can't perform well in these elections as a united opposition force if you don't have a leadership face.
Why not? Why can't we fight together? I mean, the example that Mr. Sharad Pawar gave was a reference to context from a journalist, that question that was asked. But I'd like to say, what is the issue here? If a group of people have come together, they want to serve the people of the country, and we are following the democratic process. The democratic process is, once the elections are over, okay, the elected representatives select the leader. So this is what has happened. Mr. Kharge himself has said, let's win the elections first and then we'll decide. I mean, some people have suggested, according to sources, which the media gave out to us, but the fact of the matter is that we have many leaders within the India Alliance that are capable enough to be the Prime Minister of this country. But tell me something, does anybody from the NDA that is led by the BJP have the guts to say that, okay, we have another face that can lead the country? And my thing is, don't tell me that there's no other face. What about Mr. Nitin Gadkari? What about Mr. Amit Shah? Why can't they be the leaders of the NDA and become
but Clyde, that's for BJP to decide. I mean,
No, so that's
if
exactly so.
the opposition
But
can't
let me
decide
finish.
who's going
Now
to
there-
lead them, why would you
If-
decide for BJP? Who
We don't
they want to be led
We
by?
don't want to decide. Now let me finish. You allowed everybody else to talk. You interjecting what I'm saying. I request you to listen to me. That's exactly the point. It is our prerogative who we decide, when we decide, why we decide, and what we want to do. So why is everybody else jumping, trying to figure out that we do not have a leader? So if they have their prerogative to decide who they want to project as the leader, it is our prerogative to decide how, when, and why that we have a leader.
All right. No, Clyde, I take that point. Clyde, I take that point. Clyde, I take that point that BJP.
Can I finish?
Yes, finish your point. Finish your point.
Last thing, what I don't
Yes.
understand is, how everybody else is behaving like a fly on the wall as to what India Alliance is doing within closed doors, or how somebody else's mind
Well,
is
sir,
working. I mean, come on.
Sir,
Can
the
you think
best
what I'm
part
thinking?
is you
How
don't
can I
have to
think
be a
what you're
fly on the
thinking?
wall. Sir,
No,
you
so that's what
made
I'm
your
saying.
point. Now let me say my points and then you can come back.
Yeah,
Clyde,
yeah,
Clyde, you made your point. Now please
focus.
listen to me.
Fine.
Sir,
I
you
will
don't have
request
to
one
be.
last thing.
No, so you've referred to the last thing. Now listen to my point. You don't have to be a fly on the wall to know what Mr. Sharad Pawar said. You don't have to be a fly on the wall to know what Mr. Arvind Kejriwal and Mamta Banerjee proposed the name of Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge. You don't have to be a fly on the wall to know that Mr. Nitish Kumar has been touted as one of the key faces who can be the convener of that particular alliance. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be healthy competition, but Mr. Rajgopalan gave you the right, sir, listen to my question. But Mr. Rajgopalan gave you the right reality check that elections are just around the corner. In next 45 days, you might have the announcement, and leadership in today's polity is an important issue, sir.
Why not? Agreed. Leadership is important, but who is not leading? We are all together, working together as leaders. So what's the harm in that? You are willing to listen to what Mr. Rajgopalan is saying, not willing to listen to me, then what can I say?
Sir, I have heard you. I have given you more time than any other panelist.
No.
So please don't give me that.
But 5 times interjected me while hearing me out, while you patiently listen to everybody else.
Sir, I interjected Mr. R.P. Singh also. I have interjected other panelists also. I think, sir, when has interjection become a form of disrespect? I don't know. Interjection used to be a welcome thing in the debating culture, right? So I don't think that's an offense. I want